Today we'll be talking about one of the important strategies that we use in vector control, that is integrated vector management. So the vectors that we are talking about in an Indian context is mainly the mosquitoes and sandflies, which are covered under the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. So just recall that the mosquitoes and sandflies are the vectors for malaria, dengue, chikungunya, filaria, Japanese encephalitis, and Kala-Azar. So why integrated vector management? So it was seen that using more than one strategy is always cost effective when compared to using one strategy alone. So the WHO brought about a global strategic framework for IVM in 2004. So this was named as a rational decision-making process for the optimal use of resources for vector control. So IVM is basically defined as the implementation of all possible or feasible strategies safely with or without the use of insecticides to manage the vector population so that the disease transmission is under check. So what are the measures that can be integrated? So let us recall the life cycle of mosquito. So here it starts from egg, larva, pupa and the adult. And as you all know, the egg, larva, pupa are water related. They need water for their survival, whereas the adult mosquito feeds on mammals. So the measures that we have to integrate will depend on these life stages of the mosquito. So there are mainly three components in IVM: the anti-larval measures, anti-adult measures, and personal protection against bites. So let's have a recall exercise. Recall the different species of medically important mosquitoes in India and their breeding places. This is very important to understand the topic further. So the anti-larval measures include environmental control, that is source reduction. We will be reducing the sources where the mosquitoes can breed. So the first and foremost is land filling and drainage, intermittent drainage of say for example paddy fields. Then water management systems, the changing the salinity of water if feasible, and engineering measures such as these, where you can see that these are potential breeding sites for mosquitoes, and if they are engineered properly, these sources can be reduced. Similarly, artificial collection of water such as pots, tires, the management of these are important to reduce the sources. Also, sewage management and solid waste management, as you can see in these pictures, is very important for vector control. Similarly, Mansonia species of mosquitoes breeds in aquatic plants, and reducing aquatic plants in certain areas is seen to be reducing the vector population. So what are the advantages of the source reduction? So these are permanent and safe methods, whereas the disadvantage is that it is not always feasible to do source reduction everywhere. So the next method we have is a chemical control. So mineral larvicidal oil is one of the agents that we use. So mineral larvicidal oil, when sprayed upon water bodies, will spread over the water surface and reduce the oxygen which is available for the larva and pupa to breathe, and thus killing them. So mineral larvicidal oil is an option, but however it renders the water unpotable for drinking. Paris green is a stomach poison which is used, but however it is not used under the national program. And currently we are using, apart from mineral larvicidal oil, we are using three insect growth regulators such as abate. So this is abate or Temaphos. Then we use diflubenzuron and pyriproxyfen for chemical control of larvae. Larvivorous fishes such as guppy and gambusia are also known to be used for biological control along with other methods. Similarly, biocides such as Bacillus thuringiensis australiensis. So this is available as a wettable form. So you can see the box here. It is available as a wettable form, wettable powder form. And is sprayed in water bodies. Similarly, another species, the Bacillus sphaericus, is also used as a biological control against larvae. Now, before moving on, let us have another recall exercise. Please recall what are the exophilic and endophilic mosquitoes. What time of the day do different mosquitoes prefer to bite? So, coming to the anti-adult measures. Indoor residual spray is a highly cost-effective method which is used in places or high-risk areas where the API, annual parasite incidence, is more than 2, especially for malaria and Kala Azar. And the agents that we use is 50% DDT, malathion, and synthetic pyrethroids. So there will be usually biannual rounds of indoor residual spray, which is an effective measure for anti-adult control. Coming to the sprays, the malathion, pyrethrum extracts are mainly used as agents for space spraying. However, there is no residual effect for these agents, and the knapsack sprayer is used. So this is the knapsack sprayer. So this is used for spraying these agents. Along with, sometimes you might have also seen the fogging machines which are used. So these are the methods by which these malathion pyrethrum extracts are sprayed. So this is particularly effective when there is a seasonal transmission of these diseases in a particular area. The last method is genetic control, where sterile mosquito males are released into the environment. However, these methods are still under consideration. So the third and last vector management method is the protection against bites. So mosquito nets is a proven cost-effective method. So the ideal mosquito net should be white in color, rectangular, with a hole diameters or hole size of 0.0475 inch and 150 holes per square inch. So there are different types of mosquito nets which are available. The first being the common nets or untreated nets, which have only a physical barrier against these bites. The second is the insecticide treated nets. And the third is the long-lasting insecticide nets. So these nets are used in the national programs, and they are supplied. And these are supplied to high-risk areas and mainly to pregnant women, houses with children. So these are the people who should receive these mosquito nets. And the strategic plan for malaria control is aimed at 80% population coverage with either mosquito nets or IRS. So another method which is effective against Aedes mosquitoes or day biters is the screening of buildings. So 16 meshes to inch copper or bronze gauze can be used for this purpose. And another method is use of repellents such as DEET. So you can further go and read about these topics in the national website and also from the PARC textbook. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to contact the Department